doing great, buddy. Thanks so much.
Yes, so I saw this film way back at Sundance, which feels like forever ago now. So it's so good to see it released now. Um, and I was even before I saw it, I was so captivated by it because when I read the log line, I feel like I had never heard any film that was described as such. So, what excited you the most about this project when coming on board?
Oh, so much, man. There were so many opportunities that I saw. I thought, you know, not too often do I see black characters, much less black male characters, be approached from a space of internal wonderment.
Hmm.
So the lens is always placed on our outsides and placed on our bodies, and a fetishization of our bodies in space, fetishization of our bodies in proximity to women and our sexuality. And this movie, I didn't have a sexual relationship with any of the characters. I didn't have a sexual relationship with any of the women, any of the men in the show, in the movie. It wasn't about how large of a person um, Will was. It was all about his mental space, his vulnerability or lack thereof. It was all about what's going on inside, and it contributed to a larger conversation of mental health, but not in a didactic, like spoon feedy way. It was just like, very nuanced in that kind of conversation. I said, what an opportunity. You don't see black men like that, not often. It's few and far between. You know what I mean? Um, and in a way, in the same way, movies like Moonlight brought a new color to the spectrum of black masculinity. I feel movies like 9 Days do the same things, you know, where you just get to see black masculinity represented in a different way than traditionally seen on film or on screen. And I had to do that. I felt like the piece chose me in that way.
Yeah, yeah. And considering this film premiered way back at Sundance, I feel like it's been a journey to its release now because of the pandemic happening. And I feel like a lot of the themes in this film, are things that we've thought about as this past year has gone on. So I wanted to ask you if you felt any differently about or looked at the film in a different type of lens after going through everything that we've been through over this past year, considering the film kind of deals a lot with, just thinking, and we've been left to ourselves so much in this past year and have been able to do the same things like being altered. And I thought that has a lot to do with this film too, in retrospect.
Oh, of course. And, we never saw that coming. We didn't see that pandemic coming. We didn't see quarantine coming. We didn't see what sometimes feels like a lost year,
Hmm.
even though to some degree we gained a year because we got a year of introspection, got a year of time, we got a year of revolt, we got a year of, protest. And what I learned was just acceptance. I learned to accept, the duality of all things, the yin and the yang, that there's light and there's dark, and wholeness comes from an acceptance of both. And that's a thing that Will is constantly rubbing up against in this movie, but he's really trying to push away his shadow. He's trying to push away his darkness. And a lot of the souls that he's interviewing are such archetypes for different aspects of himself that he just doesn't want to be in connection with. And he doesn't want that part of himself to be back in that world because he doesn't think that those aspects of himself can survive it.
Hmm.
So he relies on the most pragmatic aspect of himself, and that's where he tries to make all his choices from. So I learned acceptance, I learned grace, I learned a lot of gratitude, that I can experience. This movie puts it into context that we're all, our own lottery winners to even have the chance to be alive right
Yeah.
now, you know?
It means so much more after what we've been through, because I felt like I felt some sort of way when I watched it back in Park City, but then watching it again now, it's like I felt kind of the same way, but just differently, because it makes it even that much more meaningful.
Completely. It reminds us that the small moments are just as important as what we define as our big moments. You know, we tend to be very destination oriented in the sense of, man, I can't wait for that new job. I can't wait for that marriage. I can't wait to find that love. I can't wait to graduate. I can't wait to this, that, and the other. But you don't take as much stock of or put as much importance and credence on, man, that first kiss, that hand holding, that just having brunch in close proximity to your friends, going for that long walk together in a 3-man group. You know, like, you forget that that's important too. And it's small moments like that that add up to make a really big picture of large moments. And in a year where those small moments were taken away, like, you couldn't go to the beach, couldn't have brunch, couldn't kiss people as easily, couldn't hug as easily, couldn't meet up, couldn't shake hands, still can't.
Yes, okay.
You know what I mean? Just out here fist bumping all day.
Even like us sitting here now, we're not at a hotel somewhere.
We're not in a hotel. We're on Zoom.
We're on Zoom.
So like, in a world where those small moments are removed, you realize how important they are. And 9 days begs you to just reconsider how important those small moments are. Begs you to like take into consideration how much we need them and how important they are. Because those small moments happen so much more often than the large ones. So you could actually be in a space of a lot more happiness if you actually pay attention to all the good small moments that are happening to you all the time. Every time you get to like hug your boy or your girl, you get a happy moment. Anytime you get to like hold hands, anytime you get to just sit and talk in the same space, that could be something that's really beautiful. Because trials and tribulations are always present, but real joy is also there too.
Yeah, that's a word. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today. I really enjoyed this. I can't wait for the world to experience this film because I've been waiting to talk to my friends about it for so long, and now that time has finally come. So thank you so much for chatting with me today. I hope you enjoyed it.
For sure, my G, definitely.
Thank you.
Bless.